भट्टेन पुनरेतद्विविच्यते तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितम् पर्यालोच्यत पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः। वो गौरनाम ठीक है ना? गौरनाम तो अच्छा पढ़ा था। गौरनाम नेक्स्ट राउंड में किसको डालूं? गौरनाम को नहीं तो ब्रज सुंदर को, दोनों को। धृतात्मा भूख लगा देंगे। ऐसा वो श्री गौरंग तो नहीं आ रहा है। हाँ, स्किप कर ब्रज प्रेम। ब्रज आज सब चालू हो गए, क्या करें। सो तो मंडे से क्लास लेना है, बाप रे। इतना जल्दी छुट्टी खत्म हो गई, 4 दिन भी नहीं है। 10 दिन से ही कम है, 2 दिन छुट्टी ली है वो तो। 1-2 दिन, 1 दिन छुट्टी लिया। एक दिन तो किया नहीं, ऐसे ही इंट्रोडक्शन। 8 6 7 दिन में कर दिया पूरा। पहले दिन तो कुछ कथा किया, दूसरा दिन थोड़ा समय किए। करो, जो हो गया हो गया। और भी कितना पढ़ेंगे, चलो कुछ सीखेंगे, कम से कम ये सीख लीजिए, ये हो जाएगा जीवन के लिए बहुत कुछ। चलो, what is going on in yesterday's discussion? So Radha Rohini Mataji, mother. हाँ,
There is a Puropaksha statement that even in Bhagavatam, we are seeing in many places that Krishna is Avatara, not Avatari. So why don't you take that statement as a Amsha, not Amshi? For that we are going to this topic.
Mike.
We explained that Amsa came from Amsa or Umsi came from Amsa. That we explained, correct? With the example of this Vasudeva and Anuruddha. So we have approved here also from Sankarsana Bhagavan. And this from third canto that quoted. Now after that, Yeah, this was. Yeah, sure. Then, yeah, there is also one quote from Brahma Sutra also. Okay, that about this paraha, and also then it is said that this that amsas are different from the
Hmm.
jiva. Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yesterday we started with the Varaha Purana quote that Amsa and Amsi, they may look like similar. They are identically similar,
They are
but
identical. That's all.
they are identical,
But they are not
but
same.
they are not same. So
Hmm.
that is the statement we begin with that. That is from the Varaha Purana.
Hmm.
So that we can't say that even though they are identical, they are not same. So
Hmm.
to explain that, we took one example that river. So in the main river, the from that many branch river will come.
Why Sri Rajiv Goswami is discussing this much about the Amsha and Amshi? He is trying to bring the difference between Amsha and Amshi. And there is a difference. Of course, they look similar, identical, but still they are different. Why?
Because Krishna also included in that avatara list, na? So Amsa,
Because Madhvites, they say all Amshas and Amshis are same.
that before that we see that
That is their
Madhvas.
problem. That problem is solved here.
Mm.
There's a Madhva philosophy says. That's it. Mm. So that's all Amshas are same. They accept and all the.
Then why then there are different names then?
So
Different name will come by that activities, na?
okay. Next.
So by that one example, we proved that
Mm.
river example.
Mm.
Then next another one example we took that Vasudev and Anirudh may looks like same,
Mm.
but it is not like that because that is against to the
It's
shastras.
not. It's not like that means they look same. That is a fact.
No, they looks like same, but they we can't say Vasudev coming from Anirudh
Uh,
because in Shastra there is
we
nowhere.
cannot say there is no difference.
Uh,
They look, of course, they look similar, but there is
different
difference.
is there.
What is the difference? So never Vasudeva Vyuha never comes
Comes
from the
from the Aniruddha.
Aniruddha like this. We don't find anywhere statement in the Shastra.
Uh, so by that also we proving that Amsa and Amsi the different is there.
Taratamyam is there,
Taratamyam is
difference.
there. Different is there. The next another one example we given from the third canto.
Mm.
Kumaras they are going to meet Sankarshna.
Yes,
So their aim was to understand the ultimate tattva. So
yes.
that's why they are approaching Sankarshna.
They want to know the tattvam which is superior to the Sankarshan.
Mm.
Mm.
So that's they want to know. That's why they are approaching the Sankarshna.
Mm.
And Sankarshna also said that he worshipping the Vasudeva.
Yeah.
So from that we can
When they
understand.
approached to Sankarshan, what Sankarshan was doing?
He
So
is
Bahumanayanti,
meditating.
that means he is worshipping the Vasudeva. So from this, all these vyuhas are not same. There is a difference. Amsha and Amshi, difference is there. Okay.
We did Anvaya of this at the Samsakalavas.
Mm.
There we saw that that we saw this the verb is this Midyanti. That Midyanti is connected the first line of the verse,
Mhm.
and second line is independent statement. It's not connected with the first sentence or with the verb also. It is completely different. That Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Mm.
is an independent statement
Mm.
because this verb is plural. It's not
Mm.
Anvaya. Huh?
Connection is not happening. You are saying, but that is not like a proper connected way, and
Okay.
that information some the opposite person should understand. So points are coming, but what is the connection between that? Now you are saying plural is there, but what is the
No,
role of
that's
the
okay.
plural here?
Um,
So
yeah, ate, sa, amsha, kala, pumsa. So this plural goes with these three things: amsha, kala, and pumsa. Pumsa in Purush avatars.
mm-hmm.
So this plural is for this this amsha, kala, and pumsa.
Clarity is not coming. Okay. Ete cham sakala pumsah Krishna tu Bhagavan. So here,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
don't start. From here only should.
Huh?
From here you can continue. Already he said, na. That's why. From here you should carry forward. Ete chance. That's
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
So here ete cham sakala. So words ete means this all, whoever incarnations. Ete cham sakala. So they are all the kala, that whoever incarnation from this source. Ete cham sakala pungsa this all, but two here, that Krishna two. So that two, that word is very significant. So it is referring to the Krishna, the source. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. So yeah, ete cham sakala pungsa Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. And yeah, so Mirdayanti means like Mirdayanti means referring this all. Whenever Krishna, Indra, he gets some trouble.
Mradayanti means give protection. Give protection.
Mirdayanti means give protection. So this incarnation, they gave protection to Indra.
You should go like this. What we are trying to say, there is a no. Okay, online. If anyone wants to try.
This that second line, that Miryanti Indradi Vyakulam Loke Miryanti Yuge Yuge, this have no connection with Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam.
Yes.
This is connected to Ans, Kala and Purusa.
Very good. So that is the point. If it is connected to the Mrudayanti Yuga Yuga is connected to the Krishna's to Bhagavan Sayam, then what should be there? Instead of the two, there should be
Cha.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. Now next, what next we discussed?
Next, that Purpakshi statement was there. Why only by one statement we are telling this much? So there is other statements are there which is telling Krishna is avatar. So we are asking, these statements are from where? From Bhagavatam or from any other scriptures? So first he is putting some. First they will tell some statements from Bhagavatam.
Yes.
From that Garbhastuti and 10th.
So now we have to proceed from there. Okay, thank you. Good. So that is the objection is there are now the point is okay, fine, very well. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, this is the independent statement and it is telling about the Krishna as avatari, and all other statements are telling Many are there. Many statements are there in the Bhagavatam. Now we are coming out from that chapter. So till now we are in that chapter only. That means, so there is in that chapter in one line, 123rd verse is telling that Krishna is Avatara, and Krishnastu Bhagavan 28th verse is telling that Krishna is Bhagavan. That means Avatari. So then this conflict we resolved. Local conflict this is. That means in that same chapter there is a conflict. And that we resolved by the what method we took? Yeah.
By that Purva Purva is
Paurva
strong.
Pariya. So this is the one thing. So that means so between the Purva and Para statements, Pura is the weak, Purva statement is the weak. So that's why we are considering the Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam as the stronger statement, and we consider this is the one thing. Or what is another way? So we did
Shruti
and Prakarana actually.
Prakarana.
So there is one more way of dealing this thing, that means Shruti and Prakarana. So as context Prakarana, through Prakarana we are understanding Krishna is Bhagavan, and this is an independent statement, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. This is the independent statement, not connected to anything there. So this statement is known as Shruti. So Shruti is more powerful than the Prakarana statement. So that's why we should understand that Shruti, that means Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, he is a avatari. So we resolve this conflict which is coming in that same chapter. Now we are coming out from that chapter and we are seeing in the bigger picture. So there are so many statements in the other parts of the Bhagavatam. They are conflicting to this. Then how to deal those? Okay, here in this chapter, so you said, okay, it is by Prakarana Shruti, this point you said. Then what about other statements which are telling the Krishna as Avatara? So then, yeah, in the Bhagavatam itself. And also there are so many statements. So against to this, that means Krishna is Bhagavan. So all those Virodhi statements also there in the other scriptures. Now you should deal those. So then how to deal that? So that's why Purvapakshi is raising objection. Yeah, in the one place you have seen Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, and in the many places in the Srimad Bhagavatam there are statements against to this that establishing. So Krishna as Avatara, then how to, so they say this one statement you should take as a Gunavada, that means as a Arthavada. It is just a glorification statement, because many statements are saying that he is as Avatara. So let us take only Avatara. Krishna is Avatara. That only will take. Like this, Purvapakshi is putting objection on us. So see how the approach is taken by the Srila Jiva Goswami. That you should remember. If you don't remember, you may study 10 times, nothing is going to happen actually. The approach should be clear. That means how he is starting, because that is a style to establish anything. If you want to establish anything, how he is approaching. So systematically, line by line. That flow, once again, you should remember. Otherwise, it's difficult. You cannot present anywhere actually, na? So it will be step by step. Steps you should not miss. If you miss any step, that is also will not look good actually. And first of all, you know why these steps are like this. First, what is saying? He is saying just by the word Bhagavan, he is establishing avatari. And he is saying that there itself, this is the Bhagavan word is there. That's why he is avatar. First of all, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So here Krishna is the source of all the incarnation. How he is saying? He is saying based upon the Bhagavan. That is the first interpretation. He took that and he said he is avatari. And then after that, so once again he is saying that, so here avatara is there and here avatari is there, then how to, so Paurva Parya and this next another logic is Shruti and Prakarana. So this approach he took. Then after that, so he is, now we have the another problem that other statements of Srimad Bhagavatam also should be justified. So what, how to, so make them quiet, that we have to do now. if you prepare one at least, so one topic like this thoroughly, then you can, that will make like at least 10 topics if you thoroughly prepare in the one sandarbha, 10 topics solidly, the steps, and after that presenting, how to present, nicely presenting that, and also uh, making some notes on that, producing the material, making the ppt. So if you do like this, maybe 10 things only you read, maybe 100 anuchedas, only read 10 anuchedas, but thoroughly if you understand, that will be useful actually. Our rose 10 100 anuchedas we discuss, and even one also is not remembered, and one thing also we are not able to establish. But here in the Bhagavad, in the such sandarbhas, every anushada is almost like independent actually. It's are the one, are the chunk of anushyadas as establishing, like in the Bhagavad sandarbhas you'll be seeing vibhutvam is established by the some few anushyadas, and some theme wise actually these are all themes. So at least if you remember 2-3 themes, now establish Sarupa Shakti, that is the one theme. So like that, if you remember 1-2 anushyadas for the one sandarbha, and Krishna in the Bhakti Sandarbha also, some themes, Sadhu Sangha, established Sadhu Sangha is the anga of the sadhana bhakti, or the Shravanam Kirtana. If you prepare 2-3, so that is that thorough preparation. If you did for the 1-2 anuchedas, then automatically others will become clear because of that thoroughness, that deepness, going to deep. And you didn't go to deep into one anucheda also, and even if you read so many, all will be become vague actually, what is there inside and deeply. Huh? So then who are here from Yuna, then they will not like much. Oh, he is not clear actually, like that they say. So yeah, thorough preparation is needed. Take only, select some 10 anuchedas for every sandarbha. Till now we finished 3 sandarbhas. This is the 4th one. And 10 anuchedas, and prepare nicely that, and give presentation on that, make a small course on that, then that will be useful, because then you can propagate and you can make the justification for the sandarbhas. Yeah, seriously try. So now so okay, so many Bhagavad statements from Bhagavad. Statements from Bhagavatam says Krishna is avatara. Inky is not there, Babu. Mark. Krishna is avatara. But only one statement is telling so we are taking not one statement, we are taking the Krishnastu Bhagavan as Krishna to Bhagavan. This is one statement establishing Krishna as Bhagavan. Why we are taking this, giving importance so much for this? Why not for all this? So why not? That is the point. Now the answer is, so answer for this objection, that is objection. Answer is what? He is saying this is the Paribhasha Sutram. He is saying Tadevam Krishna Bhagavan Purushastu Sarvantaryamitva 29th Anushada. So Paramatma is Nirdharitam Tatra Shankite Nanu Idam Ekam Amshitva Pratipadikam Vakyam amshatva pratipadaka bahuvakya virode gunavadaha syat. So this one sentence which is against to these many sentences and should be considered this one statement as gunavada or the arthavada. That means it's only exaggeration. Saying Krishna as Bhagavan is only exaggeration, but actually no. So like that we should take. So that is the objection of the Purvapakshi. Now the answer is Tatra Uchyate. In this regard, answer. Uchyate means answered. That objection is answered. What? Tani kim bhagavatiyani parakiyani. Now we are asking. So those statements are Bhagavad statements are okay. You should not take here directly Bhagavatam. So many statements says Krishna is Avatara. So now answer how it is going for this. So then that those statements are from Bhagavatam or not? Bhagavatam or from other scriptures? Then first case, if you take, yes, if you take these statements from Bhagavatam, which are going against to the Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Exam, okay. Adye Janmaguhyadhyayah Adyaha Janmaguhyadhyayah Hi Ayam Sarva Bhagavadavatara Vakyanam Sutra Suchakatvat Pradhamika Pathat Taihi Uttaratra Tasyaiva Vivaranacha. So now we are saying, okay, these statements are from Bhagavatam. First of all, we are saying about this statement, about the Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. First of all, this statement is from which chapter? Third chapter. That means Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, this is from the 1-3. So first canto, third chapter. This is what? Janmaguhya. This chapter name is Janmaguhyadhyaya. So this is the name is given for this. Janmaguhyadhyaya. This chapter name is Janmaguhya, the secret of the birth, mystery of the birth of Supreme Lord is said. This is the Janmaguhyadhyaya. And also it is the beginning of the, one more point, it is beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Beginning place it is. So it is beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And why we call he Ayam Sarva Bhagavata Avatara Vakyanam Sutra Suchikatvat. So first of all, we are saying this chapter. So Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, this sloka is mentioned in the third chapter, and third chapter is known as Janmaguhyadhyaya. What is the reason for this? That means this chapter is telling about the secret of the birth of Krishna. Why we are taking this chapter as a very prominent chapter, very important chapter? First of all, we should understand this. The reason is this chapter Sarva Bhagavad Avatara Vakyanam Sutra Suchikatvat. I am in this chapter. See what is said. There is a discussion of, in this chapter, discussion of the all the avatars of the Lord. Discussion of various avatars of, that means you'll be seeing all these 24 avatars are all pervaded in the total Bhagavatam. So one by one Narada, so everything, if you see the different places, only this coming. So that's why, so discussion of our, why this chapter, third chapter is known as is Janmaguhyadhyaya. What is the point is, it is in this chapter there is a discussion of avatars of Bhagavan. There is discussion of avatars of Bhagavan. Okay. So Vakyanam Sutra Suchikatvat. So this avatars, and that's why this chapter is like a sutram. This chapter discussion of all the avatars is there in this chapter. That's why this chapter is so this chapter revealing the truth of various avatars. That means how those avatars are connected. This chapter is dealing. So that's why this chapter, that's why this chapter is the sutra, a sutra suchikatva. Okay, you can take this as a summary. This chapter revealing the truth of the various avatars. That means who is who, from whom who is coming, and this. That's why this chapter is very special chapter. It's not like the other chapters where avatara is discussed. Especially this chapter is meant for the avatars only, and also it is coming starting only. One more point, it is coming starting. It is the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is in this chapter is in beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. And whatever the avatars are explained in this chapter, those only expanded. So in the remaining portion of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is covering the expanding the avatars mentioned in this chapter. Expanding the avatars mentioned in this chapter. So in this chapter. So because of these reasons, we are considering this chapter as a Janma Guhya Adhyaya. And that's why anything is in this chapter is very significant actually. And it is like a sutram actually. The secret, or the whatever is this chapter is telling, that is like a sutram actually, because everything is expanded from here only. So in this tatra cha yete cha amsha kalamusha iti sutra paribhasha iti paribhasha sutram. That's why, so in this sloka, in this chapter, what is there? Yete cha amsha kala pumshaha, yete cha amsha kala pumsaha. So Krishnastu Bhagavan. So this statement you should take it as Paribhasha Sutram. This statement you should take as Paribhasha Sutram. There is no other chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam where all the avatars are mentioned, and then after that the relations also among those avatars which are coming from whom, that is not revealed, that is not said. So, and also it should be beginning of the Bhagavatam. So like that, no chapter is there. This is only the place. So that's why this chapter is the revealing the secret of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that's why we are taking Ete Chams Kala Pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swami as the Paribhasha Sutram. So next, iti Paribhasha Sutram. This is the Paribhasha Sutram. Avatara Vakyeshu Anyan Purusham Shatvena Janiyat Krishnastu Swayam Bhagavaniti Pratignakarena Grandhartha Nirnayakatvat. Why we are taking Ete Chamsh Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swami as the Paribhash Sutram? Because this statement is telling about all the 24 avatars discussed in this chapter. First of all, this chapter is so important. And in that chapter, this line is so important. This line is so important. Because why this line is so important? This line is telling about all the avatars. What it is telling? Ete cha amsha kalaha pumsaha. That means whatever the 24 avatars we discussed, they are all the amshas and kalas of the Purusha. Kalas of the Purusha. And immediately we are saying, but Krishna is not the Amsha or Avatara, but he is Bhagavan. But Krishna is Bhagavan. So what it is telling, this statement is telling, it is revealing the secret among all those. That means Krishna is Bhagavan. So this statement we are taking as the Paribhasha Sutra. Paribhasha Sutra. This is Paribhasha Sutra. Sutram. What is the role of the Paribhasha Sutram? Aniyame Niyamakarini Paribhasha. So what it means? That means this is a statement, this is a Sota Goswami is promising us. It's a pratigna he is doing here. What? Yetecha, these are all avatars are the kalas and amshas of the Purusha, but Krishna is Bhagavan. Here, such a pratigna he did. A promise, he made a promise, a statement or the powerful statement he made. And the pratigna karana grandardha nirnayakatva. That's why this line is going to this line is going to decide the whole meaning of total Bhagavatam. Because there is no other chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam where it is discussing all the avatars and the relations of that. And it should be first, initially only it should be there of the Bhagavad. It's not that the ending of somewhere it is coming, no. Because while we study anything, you are going to define something as a universal, which should be taken entire grantha, that should be first only. Even in the C programming, when you write, global variables should be declared first. Global variables, local variables are there, you know this. See program. So global variables means these are all, you know. So global variable always declared out to the everything. That means it is just a main. We start main and there only we declare. So like it is a global thing. This sentence is going to influence all the Bhagavatam, whole Bhagavatam. Grandardha Nirnayakatvam. It is a decision maker of the meaning of. This is the decider. He decides the meaning of total Grantha. Because it is coming in this chapter, Janma Guhya. Why this chapter is important? Because this chapter is discussing all the avatars and so Sarva Bhagavad Avatara Vakyanam Sutra Suchakatvat Ayam. In the simplified manner, it is discussing all the avatars which are going to be discussed in this Bhagavatam. And also it is the starting. And those avatars only expanded in the total Bhagavatam. And that's why. So okay, this statement is Paribhasha Sutram. We are taking this statement pratigna, or the statement. We are taking it as a Paribhasha Sutram. How it is going to decide this? What we are saying, this statement is going to decide the Granthartha. That means the meaning of the total Grantha. That means Srimad Bhagavatam, total Srimad Bhagavatam. How? That means being. This sutra, this line, we are treating it as a Paribhasha Sutram. Generally, Paribhasha Sutram, what it does, in any system, Paribhasha Sutram, what it does, what is the role of the Paribhasha Sutram? And that we should understand actually. There are so many. Sutram is many types actually. So, Vidir Niyama Evacha, Sutram Shadvidam. What is that? Vidhi Niyama Paribhasha. Next. Sangya. Sangya. Very लघु सिद्धांत actually. भूल गए. संज्ञा परिभाषा सूत्रम षड्विधम सूत्रलक्षणम षड्विधम विधिर्नियम एव च सूत्रम षड्विधम संज्ञा परिभाषा च विधिर्नियम एव च something. So in Laghu Siddhanta ending in the first page down it will be there. Acha sutra there is no there is 6 things are explained, but there is a sloka is made in the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumadi. That is not there here. Okay, no problem. Actually, sutra is many 6 types actually. Sangya Sutram, Paribhasha Sutram, and Vidhi, Niyama. Like this, various 6 kinds of sutras are there. So this is a Paribhasha Sutram. Paribhasha Sutram comes one time only in the total system. Only one time it comes. What is the meaning of Paribhasha Sutram? Aniyame Niyamakarini Paribhasha. Aniyame Niyamakarini means when there is a contradiction between 2 sutras, then this Paribhasha Sutram is coming and resolving that conflict. And it says, hey, you should do and you should stop. Like this. No, apavada is there. Aniyame Niyamakarini. Okay? Wherever there is some conflict between 2 sutras, so it is going to, this sutra is going to come and resolve that conflict. Example. Okay. Aniyame Niyamakarini Paribhasha. Likho. Aniyame Niyamakarini. Aniyame means when there is a irregulation. Aniyama. Then Niyamakarini. That means is going to do the regulation. When there is a conflict between 2 sutras, so this comes and resolve the conflict. Or otherwise, when there is a irregulation, comes and it regulates, is known as Paribhasha Sutram. Irregulation. So that's why this sutra, how many times we need then? Which we make regulates. It will come only one time then. So, Atha Paribhasha cha Sakrudeva Patyate Shastre. Sloka also is there. Sutram Shadvidam Lakshana. Sangya cha. Shadvidam Sutra. Adeshodhikarasya Shadvidam Sutra Lakshana. Sangya cha Paribhasha cha Vidir Niyama eva cha. So Adideshodhikarasya Shadvidam Sutra Lakshanam. These are 6 types of sutras. Sangya, Paribhasha, Vidhi, Niyama, Atidesha, Adhikara. Adhikara. There are 6 kinds of the sutras. Any system, if you take any system, it will be like this only. Like grammar system, if you take, it is like this. If you take Mimamsa system, it will be like this. So these are all. So even in the Brahma Sutras also, some sutras are defining, some sutras are the Paribhasha Sutras, some sutras are rules they are making, some sutras are making Niyama, it will make, and some sutras telling the Adhikara, and like this. So that's why sutras are 6 types. So Paribhasha Sutra, what it tell? So it is making the regulation when there is a irregulation. That's the point. That means in the next part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in some place we are seeing Krishna as Bhagavan and Avatara. And in another place, next to that, some other place you are seeing Krishna is Avatari, and one place you are seeing Krishna as Avatara. These two are fighting now. In the other part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, some sloka is coming and saying that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, and he is Avatari. And another place, so one more thing is coming, one more sloka telling that Krishna is Amsha. Now these two are fighting. Then who is going to resolve this? This is the Paribhasha Sutra. This will go and tell, hey, you are wrong. You are saying Avatara, you are keep quiet. And this is Avatari and he is. So you are right. Like this. Vidhi, Niyama, Adidesha, Adhikara. No. Sangya Sutra, what it does, it will define. And Paribhasha do this. And Vidhi means it explains operation, what operation should happen, Guna or the Vriddhi, and like that. They do various things actually. Every sutra, these 6 types of sutras having their own significance. Especially now we are interested in the Paribhasha Sutra only. And what it does, this is the Aniyame Niyamakarini. And how many times it will come in the Shastra? Only one time it will come. So example is given. So Vipratishede Param Karyam. This is the grammar example. Anyone knows the Siddhanta Kaumudi easily understand. Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi also. Huh? What? Hmm. Hmm. अनियमे नियमकारिणी परिभाषा लिख लो है अनियमे नियमकारिणी.
Prabhu, just one quick collection. First, we concluded this 3rd chapter is the important chapter.
Important chapter means this 3rd chapter is the
like
Janma Guhya Adhyaya. What you are saying? This is Janma Guhya Adhyaya. That means it is going to reveal the secret of Krishna's birth, Krishna's appearance. Okay? Why we are taking like this chapter like this? Why we are giving this kind of significance? The reason is in this chapter, so all the avatars are discussed in the summarized briefly. All these avatars are described briefly. And once again, it is coming in the starting of this. And total Bhagavatam is just describing the avatars which are mentioned here. So that's why now in this chapter, what is said about those avatars? After counting all the avatars, so this point is said, these avatars are coming from the Purusha, but Krishna is not coming from the Purusha, he is Bhagavan. So that's why this statement is telling about all these avatars. That's why this is known as Paribhasha Sutram. So then Paribhasha Sutra means what it does? Aniyame Niyamakarani. So in the later part of this Shastra, wherever there conflict, so this is going to resolve. So that means in the later part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see some statement is saying Krishna as Bhagavan, another statement is saying as Krishna as Avatara, then whom we should take? So then this sutra will resolve, and this sutra says Krishna is Bhagavan, Avatari. So Paribhasha Sutra example is there. Vipratishede param karyam. So there is a one so Pratishede Parankara, you need this any explanation? You don't need it. This example is I need to explain the okay. Next, Tatascha Vakyanam Kotirapi Ekenaiva Amuna Shasaniya Bhavet iti na asya gunavadatvam. So finally what we are saying, maybe in the later part of this scripture, Bhagavatam, this Shastra, so many 100,000 Vakyas may come, or the crore Vakyas may come, 1 crore Vakyas, which are telling Krishna as Avatara. Don't mind. Those are all controlled by this one line, one sutra. Because that is the power of the Paribhasha Sutra. So that's why you should not say this line is Gunavada, but you should take it as Paribhasha Sutram. It is not Gunavada. That means it is not Arthavada. That's why you should know how to interpret the Vedic statements, Upanishads. So Mimamsa rules, why we should learn? These are all Mimamsa, Mimamsa Nyaya Prakash. Mimamsa will explain. So how to take the summary of the any context and what is what. It's not that the randomly you open book and you read one line and yeah, this is the conclusion. No. So there is a lot of science is there to interpret the sentence and also to interpret the chapters and to interpret the whole the Shastra. There is the science behind this. And we should follow the systematic rules. Rules are there. Otherwise, you should not get bewildered by the one statement. Will be see Krishna as Amsha in that third chapter, 10th canto, and many like that you will see. Yeah.
Before this statement was mentioned in Bhagavatam, so before this statement was mentioned in Bhagavatam in 28th verse, so there was a description of around 24 avatars, right? 24 avatars. So someone might argue, Prabhu, like, okay, this Krishna is Swam Bhagavan amongst those 24 avatars only. But Lord can have millions of avatars, infinite avatars. So Krishna is Bhagavan amongst these 24 avatars, because here is a description of only these 24 avatars. So among them, Krishna is to Bhagavan Swam. But there may be other incarnation of Bhagavan. So when we consider those incarnations, then Krishna may not be supreme, may not be superior to those avatars. So someone might argue in this way. So how to answer?
If you see, this is answered there. What he is saying, if you follow the Sudha Goswami, he mentioned 24. After that, he is saying there are innumerable avatars, asankheyaha. So the sloka is coming. That means all the avatars he covered there itself. By the one sloka he covered everything. Avataraha hi hasankheyaha harehe sattvanidher dijaha yathavidhasinah kulya sarasah syu sahasrasha. Sloka number 26. After mentioning 24, he is saying there are unlimited avatars, asankhya, unlimited avatars are there. So that means these are all coming from the Purusha. And now finally he is saying that Krishna is the Bhagavan. That means everything is covered. All the avatars are covered already with this. And he is also saying he is a cause for the Purusha also, because if you see first sloka, so Purusha, everything is coming from Purusha, and Bhagavan is a cause for the Purusha also. So that's why he is anything, maybe you can consider any number of avatars, so which are all coming from the Purusha. So Bhagavan is cause for the cause. So that's why he is always, his position is fixed only, is stable. No one can compete with that. So that's why ultimately this chapter is telling about, that's why this chapter is acting as a key role. This chapter is having a key role in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the reason, because it is dealing about all the avatars which are discussed in this chapter, in this Bhagavatam. Next, what is said? Atha Paribha. So that's why Paribhasha Sutra will be one place, one time only it will come. That is a niyama. It's no need to say every time, everywhere. One time only it is said in the Shastra, and it is taken everywhere. So that's why 1,000 crores of the statements come against to this. Even they are all defeated, and they cannot do anything. And you cannot say that Gunavada, this. So that's why if you see Abhyasa, Tatparya Lingas also there, 6. There Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Ardhavada, Apurva, Phala. So there we make the conclusions based upon the Abhyasa, whichever is repeated more. So that is also one of the technique, but we should not apply that technique here. So many places Krishna, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, many places Krishna is said as the avatara. So that's why we should take him as avatara. No, because that we are not going to apply, because compared to that, this is a more powerful technique. So like this, that also we should know which principle, which Tatparya Linga, which technique we should apply. So we cannot apply Abhyasa. Yeah. Yeah. It's there in the Brahmanas. When you perform, especially when you perform Yajna, so there are so many procedures are explained, and then which should be considered for this. So that means common rules is defined. For example, Ashwamedha Yajna you want to do. So some things are explained in that particular section of Ashwamedha, and some things are explained in general, and some things are explained as a sub part of the another yajna. So now to perform this yajna, so what things we should, what steps we should consider, and what are the common steps, and what are we should taking from the similar kind of Ashwamedha, similar kind of another yajna is already defined. Then from that, something commonalities we should take. So like this, to make it decide the things, to conclude the things, to finalize the system, then we need this. It's a big science actually. Yeah, it's a Purva Mimamsa principles actually. Shabara Bhashya. Shabara Rishi wrote these sutras. So how to interpret this text? It's very, very important. Even in the present day societies also. Yes. अथ परिभाषा च सकृदेव पठ्यते शास्त्रे न तु अभ्यासेन. So that's why in the Shastra, this will be only one time. Na tu abhyasena. It is not going to come many times. Again and again. Yes. Pratyuta etad viruddhayamananam etad anugunarthameva vaidushi. What is the intelligence? That's why etad viruddhamananam. Any statement is coming in the next later part of this Shastra against to this, they should be always considered according to this only. And you should not make them as opponent to this and conclude their thing as a result. No. So that is a Vaidushi. Intelligence means what? What is the intelligence? So anything opposing to this, so should be considered according to this only. Should be interpreted according to this. Nacha paribhashakatva tashastrasya eva vyavaharo gnayah na sarvatra iti gaunatvam ashankyam. Paribhashakatva tasastre eva sa vyavahara gnayah na sarvatra iti gaunatvam. Once again, now Purvapakshi still he is not leaving. He is not leaving you. And the Purvapakshi is saying, okay, my dear friend, I will accept. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, this sutra is a Paribhash sutra, and according to Srimad, that means it will handle only the any opposition coming in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But there are millions of the Shastras are there which reject this statement. So that's why in the perspective of those statements, so this is Gunavada only. Still he is continuing his opposition. Understand? Huh? Okay means what? Huh. Only solution, Prabhu, you have to speak again and again. You should take up some teaching. Otherwise, that fluency nahi aayega. It will not come. So that's why you should start teaching. Then it will come. You know everything, but the main problem, that flow will come by the again and again teaching. So, so clearance should be there. You are saying, but the clarity should come. What Purvapakshi is saying? Yes, Baba, okay. So this Ete Chamsa Kalapumsha is the Paribhasha Sutram for this according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's why it is going to handle any opposition coming in this Srimad Bhagavatam only. But there is an opposition. That means there are so many statements which are telling Krishna as avatara from other scriptures. So what about those? That means this sutra cannot be the paribhasha for those. And other scriptures which are coming in from the other scriptures, statements from the other scriptures. So then in that case, that means many are saying Krishna as avatara. So that's why, so you should consider based upon these statements which are against to this. So as this is Gunavada only. Gunavada means it is only glorification statement. With perspective of this, give the importance for this. Give the statements which are in the other scriptures. Okay? Comfort jayega. This is the objection actually. Objection is raised by the, so objection is continued by the opposition. So the solution is Paramartha Vastu Paratvacha Srimad Bhagavatasya Tatrapi Arthikatvacha Tasyaha Paribhashayaha. Now we are going to say, hey, these are all other scriptures. These are the other scriptures saying so many statements. For these statements also, this only Paribhasha Sutram we are saying. This is going to be Paribhasha Sutram for all these also. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is such a subject matter which is going to discuss about the Paramartha Vastu, Vedyam Vastavamatra Vastu Shivadam, Tapatriyonmolanam. That means Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of the whole, all the Puranas, all the scriptures, he himself said in the beginning of this book, so this book is going to deal the, so Paramartha Vastu. So Paramartha Vastu is the highest important, not the Ayurveda or the Yoga Shastra or something is important. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is highly important because it is going to deal about the Paramartha Vastu. In that Srimad Bhagavatam, this is coming as a Paribhasha Sutra, means this is Paribhasha Sutra for all the scriptural statements. He's saying like this. And yeah, Kincha, and even we are giving more statements. Pratigna Vakya Vakya Matrasya cha Drishyate Paratrapi Nana Vakyantaropa Mardakatvam. Okay, this is another topic. This is okay. Done. Where is that we are seeing this? Okay. Paramartha Vastu Paratvacha Srimad Bhagavatasya Tatrapi Arthikatvacha Tasyaha Paribhashaya. This is a paribhasha for all other statements also. Okay. This sutra is the paribhasha sutra for others also. Even in the Tattva Sandarbha also we have established already. This Bhagavatam is the Chakravarti, emperor actually, is the emperor of the all the other scriptures. So that's why whatever king says, everyone should follow. That is going to come in the next Asmin Pratama Sandarbhe Pratipannatvat Asminneva Pratipasyamanatvat Parakiyanamapi etad Gunyameva. So Vidvat Jana Drushtam Raja Yatha Ragna Sasana Tathaiva Tacha Anucharanam Api. Like that we will be seeing next. Okay, we will continue this discussion tomorrow. I mean Monday.